But if we start with Islam, how would you do that?
I have a tremendous amount of respect for Muhammad. One of the 5 pillars of Islam is give alms to the poor. I have very great respect for Muhammad, in that Muhammad believed more about Jesus than the typical American. Muhammad believed that Jesus was born of a virgin, lived a sinless life, ascended to heaven, and is coming back a second time. But Muhammad rejected the deity of Christ, his death on a cross, because God would never allow such a good guy like Jesus to die such a horrible death, and therefore he denied his resurrection. When you read the eyewitness accounts of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the evidence is Christ claimed to be God in human form. He died on a cross for our sins. He rose from the dead. So now, because Muhammad and the gospel writers contradict each other, they both can't be right. But it's a really simple decision I have to make. Am I going to trust a guy who was born 570 years after Christ to be my primary source of information about Christ? He obviously never met Jesus. He obviously never heard Jesus. Or am I going to trust, it's an historical question, the eyewitnesses who saw Christ, heard Christ, watched him die, watched him be buried, and watched him rise from the dead? That's a no-brainer, guys. Whenever I'm concerned about an historical figure, I want to go back to the eyewitnesses. And so that's why I trust Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John more than I trust Muhammad, because Muhammad was born 570, so that's 540 years after Christ.